Human special forces appeared out of nowhere, striking with deadly precision and disappearing without a trace. The galaxy thought it could predict them, but humans proved unstoppable every single time. Every fleet, every outpost feared their name. Special Forces, the ultimate warriors of the stars. Want to witness more human legends and epic HFY battles? Subscribe now and don't miss a single story. Stars stretched endlessly in the dark canvas of space, but something unusual was moving through the void. A group of human spacecraft entered a distant sector where alien civilizations ruled. Their ships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, smaller than the massive war cruisers of other species, yet faster and more agile than any known vessel. Their engines leaving a faint, almost invisible trail. Enough to worry the alien sentries who monitored the edge of their territory. The humans didn't just arrive. They seemed to glide through space with purpose. Their formation tight, precise, almost like they were one mind acting together. The alien empire had sensors and satellites that could detect energy signatures from light years away. Yet these new ships puzzled them. The energy readings were strange, the movement unpredictable, and the stealth capabilities advanced beyond imagination. Alien commanders gathered in their high towers orbiting a gas giant, arguing about the human presence. Some thought it might be a scouting mission. Others feared it was the beginning of an invasion. Nobody really knew because humans were different, unpredictable, and almost impossible to read, even for the most advanced alien intelligence systems. Inside the human ships, the special forces prepared quietly, every soldier equipped with advanced combat suits and weapons that seemed impossible. Holographic maps displayed every planet, station, and patrol in the sector. Their mission clear: gather intelligence, identify weak points, and prepare for future operations. Yet they moved silently, leaving no unnecessary traces. Their tactics were refined, developed over decades of human warfare. Training that pushed them to limits aliens couldn't understand. Every movement calculated, yet flexible enough to adapt to any sudden threat. The first contact happened in the shadows. A small alien patrol ship detected the humans too late. Its sensors barely picked up the energy fluctuations, and before it could send a warning, the human ship disappeared, reappearing behind it with precision timing, disabling the patrol ship with non-lethal EMP pulses. The aliens called it mysterious, almost magical. How a tiny force could neutralize a vessel twice its size without a shot. News spread quickly among the alien ranks, panic and curiosity mixing. Who were these humans? How could they move through space so quietly and strike so effectively? Alien intelligence officers started scanning historical records, looking for humans in old databases, but the information was outdated and fragmented. Most civilizations thought humans were a minor species, isolated on a backwater planet, incapable of serious space operations. Yet here they were, not only entering the galaxy's major sectors, but doing so with confidence and skill. The humans' ships moved through asteroid belts and nebula clouds without slowing down, using advanced navigation systems that made them nearly untouchable. Every maneuver seemed effortless. Yet it was a result of meticulous planning and years of combat experience. On board the alien command stations, debates raged, generals and scientists argued. Some suggested sending fleets to confront the humans immediately. Others warned that rushing could be disastrous. The humans had proven they could outthink and outmaneuver even the most experienced officers. Every simulation ended in failure, showing that conventional tactics could not predict what the humans would do next. Rumors began spreading outside the military circles. Traders, explorers, and colonists whispered about the strange newcomers, calling them ghosts, shadows, or even messengers of doom. Meanwhile, the human special forces continued their approach, moving from system to system, silently scanning, recording, and preparing. They did not seek unnecessary conflict, yet they were always ready, their very presence a demonstration of power, an unspoken message that humans were here and capable of changing the balance of the galaxy. They had arrived not with a fleet of destruction, but with precision, skill, and knowledge that frightened those who underestimated them. And as the first human ship entered orbit around the outermost planet, alien observers could only watch in awe and fear, knowing that the arrival of humans was only the beginning, a force unlike any the galaxy had ever faced. a force whose reputation would grow faster than any starship, leaving legends and whispers in its wake. Every planet, every station, every patrol knew something was coming. Something new, something dangerous, yet beautiful in its efficiency. Humans moved like a single organism, prepared for anything, unpredictable yet controlled. And as the alien empire tried to understand them, the humans had already begun writing their story in the stars, a story that would be remembered across galaxies for generations to come. The human special forces had been observing the alien outpost for days, studying patrol routes, scanning communication channels, and mapping every defensive turret and shield generator. Nothing escaped their attention. Every small detail was recorded and analyzed. The humans moved with precision, their coordination flawless. They were ready to strike, not with brute force, but with strategy and timing that would make the aliens believe they were facing ghosts. The night before the attack, the squad huddled in their small command ship, reviewing plans and simulations, every possible scenario considered, every potential mistake corrected. They were calm, focused, and ready. As the first light of the alien planet's twin suns began to rise, human ships slipped silently out of hiding, cloaked by advanced stealth systems that rendered them nearly invisible to conventional sensors. They approached the outpost from angles no alien scanner expected, weaving between asteroid debris and the planet's magnetic fields to avoid detection. On the ground, the Special Forces deployed small autonomous drones that scouted the perimeter, disabling traps and marking safe paths. The aliens never saw the drones as anything more than harmless probes, underestimating the humans as they often did. The first strike was surgical, lightning fast and precise. Human soldiers moved like shadows, entering the outpost through ventilation shafts and hidden entrances, taking out isolated guards silently with advanced, non-lethal weapons designed to incapacitate without raising alarms. Every movement choreographed to perfection. Communications were minimal, gestures and hand signals guiding the team. The aliens were caught completely off guard. By the time they sounded the alarm, the humans had already disabled the main power grid, shut down the surveillance system, and secured critical data cores. Inside the control center, a team of humans hacked the alien mainframe, extracting intelligence at a speed the aliens could not comprehend. Every file copied, every communication intercepted, all while remaining invisible to the outpost's sensors. The alien commanders watching from orbit could only see minor glitches and strange power fluctuations. They did not understand that their defenses were being systematically dismantled from within. The humans moved with a calm efficiency that seemed impossible, as if the outpost itself was bending to their will. By the time the aliens fully realized the attack, the human special forces had already planted small but powerful devices that would disable the outpost permanently if activated. They moved out as quietly as they had entered, leaving no evidence of their presence except for the disrupted systems and unconscious guards. Alien soldiers described the humans as invisible, unstoppable, and almost inhuman. How could a small group achieve what entire battalions could not? Across the galaxy, rumors began to spread of a human unit capable of destroying strongholds without being seen. Back on their ships, the humans analyzed the data they had gathered, preparing for future missions. Every success added to their knowledge and sharpened their skills. The outpost's defenses had been neutralized without a single human casualty. The mission was a complete triumph, and yet there was no celebration, only silent acknowledgement of a job perfectly done. Alien scientists and strategists, reviewing the aftermath, were baffled. Simulations failed to predict the humans' tactics, and the term special forces began to circulate among those who feared them. Word of the humans' first strike spread quickly among the alien worlds. Merchants whispered about unseen invaders. Military officers worried about the vulnerability of their stations. And ordinary citizens spoke in hushed tones about a species that seemed capable of anything. Humans had proven that their power was not in numbers or brute strength, but in intelligence, adaptability, and the ability to act decisively when it mattered most. Fear and fascination grew simultaneously, as the galaxy realized it had underestimated humanity in the gravest way. The special forces moved on, leaving the outpost in darkness, the alien empire struggling to regain control. Their pride wounded, their strategies exposed, and their fear of the humans only deepened. The squad continued to the next target, always silent, always precise, a force that could strike anywhere at any time, their reputation growing with every mission. And as the alien commanders scrambled to respond, they knew one truth. These humans were unlike anything they had faced before, and their name would be feared across stars and systems. Every system, every fleet, every patrol now awaited the humans with tension and dread. But the humans remained focused, executing each mission with meticulous care, leaving stories of their feats in their wake. The galaxy had met a new power, one that could not be ignored, and the legend of the human special forces had only just begun. Alien leaders convened in their grand council halls, their faces tense and voices filled with worry. They could no longer ignore the humans. The reports of the Special Forces raids had spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Every military officer and strategist wanted answers. How could such a small force move so freely and strike so effectively? Every attempt to understand their tactics failed. Simulations collapsed under the unpredictability of human actions. Some argued that humans relied on luck, but the more they analyzed, the clearer it became that this was skill, discipline, and intelligence beyond anything they had encountered. Galactic intelligence agencies scrambled to gather information, scanning communications, satellites, and even the thoughts of their own spies. Yet every attempt to track the humans ended in frustration. Operatives vanished or returned with incomplete data. Some swore the humans could anticipate every move before it was made. The aliens called it uncanny, a combination of intuition and technology that made the humans impossible to predict. While political leaders debated, human special forces moved silently through the sector, always observing, always learning, leaving a trail of confusion behind them. The aliens realized that conventional warfare would not work. Fleets of battleships, drones, and automated defenses were useless against a force that could strike and disappear before a single shot was fired. Generals argued over counterattacks. But every plan fell apart in simulations. Humans adapted instantly, turning traps into opportunities and ambushes into defeats. Every encounter proved that the human mind, not just their technology, was the deadliest weapon. The term special forces began circulating secretly, whispered among soldiers with a mixture of fear and awe. Some alien leaders proposed diplomacy, sending envoys to negotiate with the humans, hoping to understand their intentions or even form alliances. But communication attempts were ignored or subtly redirected. Humans showed no interest in politics or threats. Their focus was on efficiency and strategy. They acted like ghosts, leaving no evidence of their true strength, yet demonstrating enough power to make any civilization think twice before acting against them. Rumors of humans' ability to infiltrate any system spread, causing unrest among even the most confident alien empires. Meanwhile, human special forces continued their reconnaissance, gathering intelligence on planetary defenses, supply chains, and fleet movements. They studied alien tactics, learning and adapting at an incredible speed. Each mission was not just a strike, but a lesson, improving their understanding of galactic warfare. They avoided unnecessary confrontations, focusing on efficiency and impact. Aliens began to notice patterns. Small clues that humans left behind seemed deliberate, almost like messages, but none could decipher their full meaning, increasing the fear of an enemy that could not be understood. Across the galaxy, civilians whispered stories of humans, describing them as unstoppable warriors, capable of striking anywhere, appearing out of nowhere, and leaving nothing but chaos in their wake. Even alien scientists who prided themselves on logic admitted that humans were extraordinary. Their ability to combine intelligence, speed, and unpredictability defied explanation. The legend of the humans grew not only through their actions, but also through the mystery surrounding them. Fear and fascination spread together, creating an aura of invincibility that no fleet could challenge. In secret bases, alien commanders planned elaborate counterattacks, sending fleets to intercept human movements, setting traps and laying ambushes. Yet every attempt failed. Humans bypassed defenses effortlessly, exploiting weaknesses that no one thought existed. Alien fleets returned with heavy losses and no success, and the humans were gone, leaving behind nothing but questions and a deep sense of dread. Every encounter reinforced a single truth. Humans could not be predicted, controlled, or intimidated, and the term special forces became a symbol of inevitable defeat for anyone who faced them. Political and military tensions escalated. Some factions suggested surrender or negotiation. Others considered alliances to face the humans together. But even united, no strategy seemed to succeed. Humans were always one step ahead, anticipating movements, adapting tactics, and executing with precision. Their reputation spread faster than any news network or signal could carry. Stories of their strikes and disappearances inspired fear across the stars, instilling caution in those who once acted boldly. And the galaxy began to understand that humans were not just fighters. They were masters of war, intelligence, and strategy. Every day, every patrol, and every fleet waited for humans with growing anxiety. Knowing that the next encounter could change everything, humans continued to move unseen, striking only when necessary, and observing always, their patience and skill unmatched. The alien empires faced a new reality, a species whose unpredictability, intelligence, and skill had no equal. And as the humans silently watched from the shadows, the galaxy slowly realized that the legends were true. The humans were the ultimate special forces, and their presence alone had begun to reshape the balance of power. Humans had identified a critical supply hub deep within the alien territory, a massive facility that controlled resources for an entire sector. The aliens relied on it for fuel, weapons, and communications, and its destruction would cripple their operations for months. The Special Forces studied it carefully, observing every patrol route, sensor array, and security measure. No detail was too small. Every movement calculated, every possibility considered. They knew the mission would be dangerous, but it was exactly the kind of challenge they excelled at. Efficiency and precision were their weapons, not brute force. The approach to the supply hub was risky, surrounded by asteroid belts and patrolled by advanced drones. Yet the humans moved like shadows, weaving through the debris and using the magnetic fields of nearby planets to mask their presence. Their ships were small, but highly advanced, able to adjust trajectory instantly, dodging detection. Their movements so precise that alien scouts often reported seeing nothing at all. Inside the ships, Special Forces soldiers prepared their equipment. Weapons designed to disable without excessive destruction, drones programmed to infiltrate and gather intelligence, and tools to disrupt electronic systems silently. As they neared the hub, the humans launched small reconnaissance drones, slipping past perimeter sensors and disabling cameras, mapping the internal layout with incredible accuracy. Inside the hub, alien operators went about their routine, unaware that they were being watched. The humans understood every patrol rotation, every security blind spot, every emergency response plan. It was as if they could see the hub from the inside, predicting movements and outcomes before the aliens even realized the threat. Timing and coordination were everything, and the humans had it in abundance. The strike began without warning, swift and silent. Teams moved into position using hidden corridors and ventilation shafts, taking out isolated guards with non-lethal measures, neutralizing alarms before they could trigger full defenses. In the control room, another human team hacked into the central system, taking over surveillance and communications, creating confusion and making it appear as if the hub was operating normally. The aliens were unaware that their supply lines were being dismantled from the inside. The operation was executed with such calm precision that even when confronted with unexpected obstacles, the humans adapted instantly, never hesitating. Power generators and key resource containers were disabled, rendering large sections of the hub inoperative. Communications were intercepted and scrambled, leaving the aliens unable to coordinate a response. Every move of the humans seemed planned for maximum effect with minimal exposure. The hub's defenses were confused and overwhelmed. They could not understand how such a small force could achieve what entire fleets could not. Alien commanders watching remotely could only see chaos unfolding. Yet the humans were nowhere to be found, their presence marked only by the results of their actions. Every strike the humans made was deliberate, leaving messages in the form of strategic disruption, forcing the aliens to rethink their defensive strategies. Every system they touched was crippled temporarily, sending shockwaves through the command chains. The supply hub's importance meant that failure would delay the alien operations significantly. And by the time the humans withdrew, They had accomplished exactly what they intended, leaving the hub inoperative for months. Alien soldiers described the attack as almost supernatural, invisible attackers dismantling their stronghold with ease. The aftermath of the mission spread fear and amazement across the galaxy. Stories of the human special forces reached traders, pilots, and military officers alike. They spoke of a small team that could infiltrate a heavily fortified supply hub, disable it completely, and vanish without a trace. The reputation of humans grew not just from their strength, but from the way they executed operations with intelligence, patience, and adaptability. Every success became a lesson in efficiency and a story that inspired awe. As the humans departed the sector, they analyzed every piece of intelligence gathered, preparing for future missions. Their goal was not just to destroy, but to understand and master the environment they operated in. Each operation made them more capable, more precise, and more feared. Alien forces struggled to recover, their supply chains in chaos, and morale shaken. Humans had demonstrated that power did not depend on numbers or sheer firepower, but on skill, strategy, and the ability to act when least expected. The supply hub mission cemented humans' reputation as unstoppable special forces, capable of achieving objectives no one else could. The galaxy watched, learned, and feared, realizing that humans were not just fighters. They were strategists, adapters, and masters of war. Their presence changed everything. And every civilization that heard the tale began to understand that when humans moved, nothing would ever be the same. The aliens were furious after losing the supply hub, their pride wounded and their strategies exposed. They decided it was time to strike back, assembling a massive fleet to ambush the human special forces. The plan was meticulous, using decoys, electronic jamming, and overwhelming numbers to trap the humans in a sector filled with mines and patrols. Every detail calculated to corner the humans and force them into surrender or destruction. The alien commanders were confident that this time, nothing could go wrong. They believed they had finally outsmarted the unpredictable invaders. Humans, as always, had already anticipated the possibility of retaliation, scanning the sector from a safe distance, analyzing movement patterns, and identifying the likely locations of ambushes. Their intelligence was unmatched, and their ability to adapt in real time gave them an edge no alien strategy could predict. As the alien fleet moved into position, the human ships adjusted their approach subtly, avoiding the trap entirely, yet leaving just enough trace for the aliens to believe their plan was working. It was a psychological game as much as a tactical one. When the human special forces entered the sector, they did so with calm precision. Drones scouted ahead, neutralizing mines and mapping enemy formations. Soldiers moved in synchronization, every maneuver calculated yet flexible. The aliens, believing the humans were walking into a trap, waited with bated breath, their sensors tracking every human movement. But the humans were always one step ahead, exploiting every weakness in the enemy's formation, turning traps into advantages, and using the alien aggression against them. The ambush began, but not as the aliens expected. Humans split their forces into small units, each striking isolated targets with surgical precision. Disabling communication arrays, hijacking control systems, and creating confusion among the alien ranks, the fleet thought it had the upper hand. Yet each move they made played directly into human planning. The special forces anticipated counterattacks and redirected them effortlessly. What was meant to be a trap became a demonstration of human adaptability, intelligence, and coordination. Alien pilots and soldiers were stunned, unable to comprehend how a relatively small human force could outmaneuver an entire fleet. Every attack was neutralized before it could succeed, and the humans retaliated with controlled strikes that disrupted alien formations without risking themselves. Their actions were deliberate and calculated, designed to maximize impact while minimizing exposure. Every move seemed impossible to the aliens, as if the humans could predict the future. Their reputation as special forces became even stronger. In the chaos, the humans achieved their objectives, securing critical points in the sector and disabling key systems. Alien ships attempted to regroup, but by then, the humans had already vanished from the areas of greatest danger, reappearing in unexpected locations, striking again and again, always precise, never reckless. The aliens' massive fleet had been neutralized not through sheer force, but through superior strategy, adaptability, and anticipation, proving that the humans were more than warriors. They were masters of warfare itself. News of the failed ambush spread quickly. Alien leaders were humiliated, their confidence shattered, and their forces demoralized. No one could understand how humans consistently avoided defeat, despite being outnumbered. Every report of the battle added to the growing legend of the human special forces. Fear and respect intertwined, and the term invincible began circulating among the highest ranks of alien command. Humans were no longer just a threat, they were an enigma that none could solve. Meanwhile, the Special Forces continued their operations, quietly analyzing the outcome and preparing for future missions. Their discipline and focus never wavered. They did not seek glory, only efficiency, leaving alien commanders to ponder their mistakes and learn, often too late, the ambush had failed spectacularly, yet it had only reinforced the humans' dominance, demonstrating that no matter how large or well-prepared the enemy, the Special Forces could overcome, adapt, and triumph. The battle changed the way the galaxy viewed humans. Alien civilizations began to reconsider their tactics. Alliances were formed in secret to counter the threat, and everyone knew that confronting humans directly could lead to disaster. The Special Forces had proven that they were unpredictable, intelligent, and unstoppable, turning a planned ambush into a showcase of their skill, leaving the galaxy in awe. And as the humans moved on, their reputation grew even stronger, a force to be feared, respected, and always anticipated. Every fleet, every outpost, every alien soldier remembered the ambush not as a moment of attack, but as the moment humans showed that they could turn even the most dangerous traps into victories. Their legend spread faster than any communication network, instilling fear before a single human appeared, and proving once again that when humans acted, nothing could stand in their way. Word of the human Special Forces victories spread across the galaxy faster than any alien propaganda could travel. Traders, explorers, and colonists whispered stories of unseen warriors who could strike anywhere, vanish without a trace, and dismantle entire fleets with astonishing precision. Fear grew not only among military officers, but also in civilian populations. Tales of humans infiltrating fortified stations and disabling critical systems became common. No one had ever encountered a species capable of such skill and adaptability. Humans were no longer just another civilization. They had become legends. Alien fleets became hesitant. Commanders second-guessed every maneuver, and patrols were delayed as fear spread like a virus. No longer did empires move boldly into human-occupied sectors. Even routine operations were planned with extreme caution. Intelligence officers advised avoiding engagement, while soldiers quietly prayed to avoid encountering the humans. Every report of human activity caused panic. The Special Forces' reputation grew with each mission, fueled by both their real accomplishments and the myths that developed around them. In secret meetings, alien leaders debated how to deal with this unprecedented threat. Some suggested surrendering strategically controlled regions to humans, hoping to avoid destruction. Others proposed alliances between multiple empires to create a force capable of resisting them. But simulations consistently failed, showing that even combined fleets could not predict or counter human strategies. Their flexibility, intelligence, and speed were unmatched. Every plan against humans ended in disaster, and every failure reinforced the fear of what a single human squad could achieve. Civilians across star systems spoke in hushed tones about the humans, sometimes exaggerating their abilities, describing them as unstoppable, ghost-like warriors who could appear out of nowhere and vanish before retaliation. Merchants refused to transport supplies through sectors where humans had been reported, fearing interference. Alien scientists studied human operations obsessively, trying to reverse engineer their tactics. But the humans' ability to adapt and improvise made every theory obsolete. It was clear that no one could match them in intelligence or strategy. Meanwhile, the human Special Forces moved silently through the galaxy, continuing their missions, gathering intelligence, and striking only when necessary. They avoided unnecessary conflict, focusing on efficiency. Yet every action left a clear message of power, precision, and adaptability. The humans' presence alone was enough to make entire fleets pause, to make strategic planners reconsider their options. Their operations were surgical, leaving minimal traces, yet the effects were enormous. disabling supply chains, communications, and fleet readiness with minimal effort. Alien populations began to live with fear as a constant companion. The knowledge that humans could strike anywhere created tension. Even in sectors far from human activity, governors and military officers reported strange occurrences: missing patrols, disabled satellites, and unexplained system failures. And the explanation was always the same. Humans, the special forces, had been there, unseen and unstoppable. Alien children grew up hearing stories of the humans, soldiers trained under the shadow of their reputation, and even the most confident fleets moved cautiously, knowing one mistake could be fatal. Political factions in alien governments debated endlessly, some urging diplomacy, others preparing for war. Yet every attempt to contact humans failed. Humans showed no interest in negotiation, only in achieving objectives with precision. The special forces acted with efficiency and patience, their silence as effective as their attacks. The humans had become the ultimate variable, an unknown that no one could calculate. Their unpredictability inspired both fear and grudging respect, reshaping the way civilizations approached strategy and defense. The mere idea of humans in a sector caused preemptive retreats, and entire plans were rewritten to avoid confrontation. The humans' legend had reached every corner of the galaxy before they had even appeared. This psychological effect was as powerful as any weapon, proving that their reputation alone could alter the course of conflicts. Fleets that might have attacked cautiously withdrew instead, realizing that the humans' power was not just physical, but tactical, intellectual, and deeply strategic. Every empire, from the largest to the smallest, now treated humans with caution and awe. Military academies taught new generations about the special forces, diplomats and spies studied their moves obsessively, and the word humans began to evoke both fear and respect in every corner of the galaxy. The humans had achieved something few species ever could. They had become a force whose reputation alone shaped the decisions of entire civilizations. And as the special forces moved quietly from system to system, the galaxy learned a simple truth. When humans acted, everything changed, and no one could stop them. The spread of fear, fascination, and respect solidified humans' position as unmatched special forces, their legend growing with every whispered story, every tactical success, and every mysterious disappearance. The galaxy had begun to understand that humans were not just participants in war. They were the ultimate masters of strategy, stealth, and influence, and their name alone would echo across star systems for generations to come. Alien civilizations could no longer ignore the humans. Their special forces had proven too unpredictable and deadly. Leaders of multiple empires secretly convened in hidden star systems to discuss how to deal with this unprecedented threat. They argued and debated for hours, each leader presenting plans to trap, outsmart, or negotiate with the humans. But every strategy seemed inadequate. Simulations repeatedly failed, showing that no conventional force could match human intelligence, adaptability, and precision. Every attempt to predict their movements ended in failure, and the humans remained an enigma, a force that could not be understood. The summit was tense, with generals, scientists, and diplomats all present, each trying to assert their solution. Some urged immediate preemptive strikes, believing that humans could be eliminated before their influence spread further. Others warned that attacking would be disastrous, citing the humans' ability to anticipate, adapt, and neutralize overwhelming numbers. Historical battles and prior encounters were discussed, but no lessons seemed applicable. The humans' unpredictability and cunning rendered traditional tactics useless. Alien leaders grew frustrated, realizing that the humans were not just a military problem, but a challenge to every assumption about warfare, strategy, and power. Meanwhile, humans continued their operations in the sector, quietly gathering intelligence, striking only when necessary, and always staying ahead of the aliens' attempts to predict or trap them. Their adaptability was unmatched, able to respond instantly to any change in the environment, any new threat or unexpected obstacle. They moved with efficiency and calm, each action deliberate and precise. Their patience allowed them to strike at the perfect moment. And their skill left alien commanders scrambling, unable to regain control. Each encounter only deepened the humans' legend, reinforcing their reputation as unstoppable special forces. The summit's debates became more urgent as reports of human activities arrived in real time. Fleets were disabled, communication hubs hacked, and supply chains disrupted. Leaders struggled to coordinate, each empire fearing that acting alone would result in failure. The humans' speed and unpredictability made joint operations almost impossible. Every plan to outmaneuver them failed before it could be executed. Simulations ran endlessly, showing that no matter how many forces were combined, humans adapted faster than the best AI could calculate, and alien leaders began to accept a sobering reality. Humans could not be contained, defeated, or fully understood. Some leaders proposed diplomacy, hoping to understand human motives or establish temporary agreements, but no attempt succeeded. Humans showed no interest in negotiation, acting only to achieve their objectives efficiently. This refusal to engage politically increased both fear and respect, as humans demonstrated a clarity of purpose and focus rare in the galaxy. Alien strategists realized that humans operated on a level beyond traditional tactics. Their intelligence, creativity, and anticipation made them the ultimate force, capable of defeating enemies without ever needing overwhelming numbers or conventional superiority. The summit concluded with a reluctant consensus. Humans could not be defeated by standard means. Every empire needed to adapt, rethink defense strategies, and approach future encounters with caution. Alliances would be temporary, and any engagement required extreme preparation. The humans' presence had forced the galaxy to reconsider the fundamentals of warfare. Every civilization had to acknowledge that these special forces operated under a different set of rules. Their skill and strategy were beyond comprehension, and their ability to anticipate, adapt, and execute flawlessly made them a threat unlike any other. Outside the summit halls, news of human actions continued to spread. Alien soldiers trained under the shadow of fear. Civilians whispered stories of unseen invaders, and entire fleets moved with caution whenever humans were nearby. The psychological effect of the humans' reputation was as powerful as their actual military actions. Humans had demonstrated that power was not only in strength or numbers, but in intelligence, adaptability, and the ability to strike unpredictably, leaving the galaxy in awe and fear. As humans quietly moved from system to system, they collected intelligence, completed missions, and left only results behind. No unnecessary confrontation, no boastful displays, just efficiency and precision. Alien leaders monitored their movements with growing anxiety. Simulations could not predict what they would do next, and every interaction reminded the galaxy that humans were more than warriors. They were masters of strategy, patience, and adaptation. Their legend grew, spreading faster than any fleet, infiltrating minds and plans across star systems, and teaching the galaxy a simple but terrifying lesson. Humans were the ultimate special forces, and no empire could ignore them. The summit's outcome became a turning point. The galaxy learned that conventional strategies were obsolete, alliances were fragile, and humans were a variable that could not be controlled. Every civilization adjusted its tactics, fleets moved cautiously, and intelligence networks worked overtime. Yet the humans remained ahead. Unpredictable, invisible, and unstoppable, their presence alone reshaping power structures, demonstrating that skill, strategy, and adaptability could surpass any technological advantage, and ensuring that the name Human Special Forces would inspire fear and respect across the stars for generations. Having completed their strategic objectives in the sector, the Human Special Forces began their quiet withdrawal, their presence felt but unseen. Every alien outpost and fleet left in chaos and confusion. The humans had achieved everything without revealing the full extent of their power. Their efficiency left a lasting impression, and their legend grew even stronger. Across the galaxy, leaders, soldiers, and civilians alike spoke of the humans with a mixture of awe, fear, and respect, knowing that these warriors had arrived, acted decisively, and vanished without a trace. As they moved out, humans carefully gathered the intelligence and resources they had acquired. Every mission analyzed, every detail cataloged. Their objective was not only to complete immediate goals, but to prepare for the next stage of operations. The aliens remained unaware of the full scope of what had happened. Only the results were visible. Communications disrupted, supply chains crippled, and fleet morale shattered, yet no human had been seen or caught. The Special Forces' ability to strike, adapt, and disappear created an aura of invincibility that no conventional weapon could challenge. Alien civilizations attempted to regroup, repairing damaged systems, fortifying stations, and deploying patrols. Yet the fear of humans lingered, altering decision-making and strategy across entire empires. Fleets moved cautiously, generals double-checked every plan, and intelligence agencies worked overtime, trying to predict future human movements. But the unpredictability of humans made all predictions unreliable. Every attempt to trap or confront them failed in simulations, reinforcing the perception that humans were not just fighters, they were a force of nature, capable of reshaping entire sectors with minimal effort. The psychological impact of humans was profound. Their reputation alone influenced decisions, slowed campaigns, and forced caution even in the most confident leaders. Civilians told stories of invisible warriors dismantling operations without warning. Soldiers hesitated in battle, and fleets avoided sectors where humans were rumored to have been. The Special Forces strategy relied as much on this fear as on their actual strikes, teaching the galaxy that intelligence, patience, and timing could surpass sheer numbers or technological advantage. Throughout their withdrawal, humans maintained complete control over their operations, moving in small, coordinated groups, monitoring alien reactions, and ensuring that nothing was left to chance. Their adaptability allowed them to respond instantly to any threat, and their efficiency meant that every action had maximum effect with minimal exposure. Alien commanders began to understand a simple truth. Humans could not be predicted, trapped, or intimidated, and every encounter with them left the galaxy more cautious, more respectful, and more fearful. As humans exited the sector, stories of their exploits spread rapidly, even in regions far removed from their actual presence. Traders, explorers, and colonists whispered about the invisible warriors, the special forces whose skill and intelligence defied understanding. Alien politicians debated what had been learned. Strategists studied the missions, and fleets adjusted their tactics. Yet the humans had already moved on, leaving behind only results, legends, and a profound sense of unease. The galaxy realized that it had encountered a species unlike any other, one whose power was measured not in numbers but in precision, strategy, and adaptability. The humans' departure marked the beginning of a new era, a period where every empire had to consider the possibility of encountering a force that could strike anywhere, anytime, with complete efficiency. The reputation of the Special Forces became a deterrent in itself, their name whispered across systems as a symbol of unmatched skill and danger. Even the bravest fleets reconsidered engagement, knowing that one miscalculation could result in disaster. Humans had transformed the rules of warfare, showing that strategic intelligence and adaptability could surpass brute force. Despite leaving, humans remained present in the minds of everyone who had witnessed their actions or heard their stories. Their legend grew with each retelling, a reminder that even when unseen, they had the power to alter outcomes, dismantle systems, and dominate the battlefield with minimal exposure. Alien empires began to adjust their strategies permanently, recognizing that humans were a new standard of military excellence, a species whose actions demanded respect, fear, and constant vigilance. In the quiet aftermath, humans continued their operations elsewhere, moving like shadows across the galaxy, achieving objectives with surgical precision, observing, learning, and adapting. Their presence a constant reminder that the galaxy was no longer a place where any civilization could act without consequence. Their reputation ensured caution, respect, and awe, and every encounter reinforced the truth that humans were not just warriors, they were the ultimate special forces, whose name alone would echo through the stars for generations. The galaxy would never forget the humans, their missions, their precision, and their unpredictability. Empires understood that where humans appeared, everything could change. Every fleet, every station, every strategy had to consider the unseen threat. And thus, humans had not only completed their missions, they had reshaped the perception of power, leaving the galaxy in awe, fear, and eternal respect for the special forces whose legend had only just begun.